Everyone was holding their breath, which is why the courtroom was silent, because there was calm. The new evidence that the prosecution had just presented was unexpected, unproven, and unannounced. A black and white, blurry surveillance video from a prison. Just 3 figures standing in a hallway, no sound, no timestamp. YNW Bortlen was clearly one of them. It appeared normal at first, but then the guard in the witness box began to cry. He would only remark that what he witnessed that evening continues to haunt him, and that Melly would have fled in a corpse bag if he had stayed in that hallway for 3 more minutes. All at once, rumors began to circulate. Once more, was the prison the scene of a hit? Was someone bought off to take Melly away for good? Furthermore, if Bortlen wasn't on the list of authorized visitors, what was he doing there? The judge mandated that the video be sealed. It's too late. Because it was online in less than a day, and after the internet viewed it, nobody asked if the case was genuine. They had a whole different question. Did Bortlen attempt to do what the prosecution was unable to? There was silence in the courtroom. Not even the shuffle of feet or the clicking of phones could be heard. Just a mother's labored breathing while she prays for her son serves the following step. A manila envelope bearing the label "Confidential." Video Exhibit A was given to the judge by a U.S. Marshal who leaned forward and muttered something in his ear. Everything changed at that point. What did it contain? A time-stamped and verified security video that was leaked was shot deep within the Broward County Jail. It showed more than simply YNW Melly. In a handshake that appeared anything but harmless, it depicted YNW Bortlen pacing, whispering to a correctional guard, and then passing something across. After an almost deadly ambush, Melly's entire cell block was placed under lockdown a short while later. The courtroom blew up. Take a breath. Sobs. Melly's own attorney erupted and let out a scream. "This is attempted murder, Your Honor." However, how did we arrive here? Let's go back. 2 weeks earlier, Bortlen appeared before a new judge who silently and inexplicably dropped an obstruction case against him. Insiders hinted at something else, but fans believed it was a break for the co-defendant in the YW case. Bortlen had made a risky bargain. It now appeared that the agreement included his own brother's permanent exclusion from the music industry. Bortlen was sacrificing allegiance for freedom, according to prosecutors' assessment of hacked direct messages that were inadvertently forwarded to a journalist from a Florida news outlet. The Melly was surprised by the ominous remark, "You know what to do, I'll send it through the co." The other texts hinted at tying off loose ends and ensuring he never testified. His mother emailed him the morning of the attack, saying, "Stay prayed up. Something feels off." The prison yard was emptied by midday. 12:32 p.m., Melly was cornered close to the showers by 3 prisoners who had not previously been involved. In his case, only fists, concrete, and the unwavering desire to silence were present, no weapons. We were told it was just to scare him, but one of them kept going. A 4th prisoner subsequently admitted Bortlen would take care of the rest. He said, "If this is accurate, the 2018 double homicide case is no longer the only one. Now, a live plot is taking place inside the prison walls." There's more though. After being found in possession of $12,000 in cash in his locker, one of the prison guards was suspended after WhatsApp logs purportedly revealed calls from a burner account registered in Bortlen's cousin's name. Another person's phone was confiscated. Do you still believe this was a random event? The judge didn't. He put an end to the trial, directed Melly to be moved to a different unit right away. Additionally, YNW Bortlen may potentially be charged with additional offenses that might elevate him from co-defendant to the principal attacker in a jailhouse plot. However, the next twist was even more sinister, so even that might not have been the most surprising. However, Anyone who believed that tearful courtroom moment was the apex of this storm was unaware of what was about to happen. Because the mood in the room changed as soon as the judge called for a little break. Erikika Mina, who had been sitting with her arms crossed and largely silent, abruptly got up and turned to face Menesi. Her eyes had a steady expression, as if she had been waiting for the right opportunity. She just set a manila envelope on her lawyer's desk without a word. The bailiff was summoned over right away. When the judge returned, clearly perplexed by the abrupt change, Erica's attorney merely remarked. The courtroom erupted in gasps when the judge said, "We'd like to submit this as new evidence." Mendesi's expression turned pallid. What was in that envelope altered everything, so when YNW reached for his hand, he yanked it away. A handwritten letter, screenshots, and most incriminating of all, a never-before-seen security video from a private hotel room in Atlanta were all found within, had escaped the prosecution's notice. The defense was unaware of its existence. Nevertheless, Erica's legal team had managed to keep it a secret until now. The magistrate bent forward. From where did this originate? Her lawyer, a whistleblower, replied calmly and collectedly. From his side, someone, Mendesi, got to his feet. This, Your Honor, is a fabrication. Never in my life have I witnessed this. However, it was not being heard by the judge. In order to check the film, he directed the court to clear the room and bring in a tech consultant. Meanwhile, the word went viral on the internet. The tweets began to fly. In the middle of the trial, Erica just dropped a bombshell. Mendes is shaken. What's inside that envelope? YNW seemed to be on the verge of passing out. The video was shown on the screen in the now private courtroom. Not even Erica watched it. She simply looked directly ahead. The video started. Even though the video was grainy and time-stamped 4 months ago, it was still visible enough to identify the person. A woman's and men's. Not YNW, not Erica, not even a famous person. Just a model. Yes, sitting on the side of the bed, looking anxious, with Mendes pacing in the background. He said, "Nobody is going to find out. You stay quiet. This doesn't mess up anything." For me, that was all that could be heard over the shaky audio. YNW sobbed aloud. As Mendes attempted to defend himself, she sobbed into her hands, but Erica remained unflinching. She was already aware. The courtroom went silent. The handwritten letter, which was signed with the full name of the woman in the video, made matters worse. She also explained what she claimed occurred in that hotel room. She claimed to be afraid, that she was afraid to say no. Mendes assured her that he would handle everything. The worst thing he said was that his wife didn't have to know that she is not his real life, but rather a part of the brand. YNW was broken by that sentence. She passed out in the aisle as she attempted to exit the courtroom. People called paramedics. The cameras were rolling outside when the court called for another respite. The moment YNW was whisked away in an ambulance was captured by TMZ. The headlines appeared immediately. Breaking: following a courtroom collapse, YNW Smith was admitted to the hospital. The story suddenly changed direction. Erica and Mins were no longer the only ones involved. This had become a scandal for the brand. A real-time collapse of a reality TV enterprise. Sponsorships took a break. VH1 took down their couple's Instagram promotion. Even former co-stars Chrissy Lannan and Kim Bella began sharing mysterious Instagram stories. They believed they were untouchable at all times. Karma never fails. Although I was aware of her unhappiness, I was unaware of how severe it was. The internet, meanwhile, entered investigative mode. Supporters began downloading vintage love and hip-hop videos and examining each side-eye, Erica's icy gaze, and YNW's awkward yet endearing smile. And all of a sudden, people began to believe Erica in a way that they had not previously. Breakdowns were posted by TikTokers. Watch Erica's expression in this 2019 footage as YNW discusses loyalty. She was aware that this court case was only the last phase. Years have passed since it began. He was unaware that the hotel was filming that clip. He was very reckless because of this. Mendes was now being questioned more inside the courthouse. It's not only about the video, but also about the large number of women who might have comparable experiences. More witnesses were willing to come forward, but only if the court allowed them to remain anonymous, according to hints from Erica's team. The magistrate bent forward. "Are you implying a trend?" In response, Erica's attorney said, "We're proposing a cover-up." It wasn't just the women. It was the agents, handlers, showrunners, and others who ignored the warning signs in order to preserve a brand, a marriage, and a clean image that generated millions of dollars. YNW's manager then made a statement to the media, but it made matters worse because instead of the note said, "YNW is focusing on her mental health at this time, whether it was denial or support. She won't be making any more comments." Just silence, no defense, no denial, no he's innocent. And that silence spoke volumes. People began to speculate. Was YNW protecting herself now, distancing herself from him? Was she about to flip in court and join Erica's side? One courtroom blogger claimed she saw YNW's assistant whisper, "It's finished." When court resumed, Mendes was sitting by himself. But what exactly was over? The marriage, the brand, or something bigger? He asked as he walked her out. No legal team, no supporters. Even his lawyer asked for a delay to restructure the defense. This was the reckoning, and the courtroom was only the beginning. But just when you thought it couldn't get any more unsettling, the twist came. On the same day that YNW Melly's legal team attempted to file an emergency motion for increased security, claiming that Melly's life was in imminent danger behind bars. 3 handwritten notes scribbled in rough handwriting and smeared with what appeared to be blood or ink were leaked by someone inside Broward County Jail. The notes were placed in a trash bag that was meant to be burned. However, a janitor who allegedly had connections to a TikTok blogger snuck them out and sold the entire set for $10,000. The notes contained alleged messages from YNW Bortlen to another inmate offering 3 books and a commissary boost to have Melly silenced before sentencing. The codes were jumbled, with phrases like he'd been chirping too much and rapid before court pop. But investigators took it seriously. One note even included a crude map of the jail block with an X over Melly's cell. As the pressure mounted, a whole new player emerged, someone nobody was expecting: Melly's own cousin. Long before the leaked letters, he had heard Bortlen talk about finishing the job inside jail, and he claimed that during visitation, Bortlen told him, "If they convict him, I'm the last one standing." He was already serving time on unrelated firearm charges, but he reached out through a lawyer with a bombshell from the shadows of confinement. The game is chess. And all of a sudden, people began to view everything differently. Was it truly about freedom? Or was it about fame, money, and removing competition? Keep in mind that Bortlen was already attempting to drop music before the trial, claiming to be Melly's only remaining real one. However, following these jail leaks, fans started referring to him as the snake in the circle. The cousin's testimony revealed an unsealed call log from the Broward jail, which revealed a late-night 3-way call between Portland, a Miami promoter, and an unidentified woman identified only as JT. It's unclear exactly what was said on that encrypted line, but one thing is certain: within 48 hours, $5,000 was transferred through an untraceable Zelle account linked to a burner phone. The recipient, an inmate in Melly's block, was later found in possession of a sharpened toothbrush and a half phone concealed in a peanut butter jar. Melly was moved to a 24-hour monitored isolation unit. She had no contact, no cellmate, and no sign of Bortlen. However, the internet continued to investigate, as more people came forward as the situation became clear. One TikTok creator, Justice for Melly, claimed to have an anonymous audio recording of a distorted jailhouse call in which a person who sounded like Bortlen said, "If he folds, they're going to fold me next." Then the worst surprise yet came. An independent investigator employed by a media organization following the trial. Was he planning a cover-up, fearing Melly would snitch? Or worse, was it self-preservation at any cost? Disclosed that Bortlen's girlfriend had been seen visiting. A known gang enforcer connected to the most infamous street crew in Broward County. Why is this important? Because YNW Melly's initial case in 2019 was allegedly entangled in gang politics. And if Bortlen had contacted that same crew through his girlfriend, it was either paying for protection or elimination or securing backup. Now that everything is coming together like a hurricane, the state must decide whether to add new charges, permanently separate the trials, or reopen all the sealed documents and reveal the true players behind Melly's attempted takedown. The streets, blogs, and fans are speaking louder than ever, despite the complete silence from Broward County officials. When Melly's mother posted just 3 words on her Instagram story, he tried it. Comments poured in. He didn't name names. But everyone knew who she met. Bortlen isn't slick. We knew from day one. Jail didn't stop him from plotting, just slow him down. Imagine your own brother in blood trying to take you out. This is betrayal on Shakespearean proportions, and now, as Melly awaits the next stage of the trial, one question looms over. Everything like smoke in a dark room? Was Bortlen always the enemy, hiding in plain sight? Was this entire murder trial just the first chapter? Because if half of the evidence, the leaked letters, the intercepted call logs, the cousin's confession, the mystery money trail, and the attempted hit inside the jail is accurate, then the real crime wasn't just outside the jail. It was occurring inside it, in silence, in shadows, and nearly successfully. And if you thought this was the end of the story, you're dead wrong, because hours after the verdict rocked the courtroom, a new shocking video surfaced online that could completely turn the case upside down. Melly's mother has remained silent. According to insiders, and Bortlen's team is frantically trying to stop a leak that could put everyone back in court. But here's the catch. The footage wasn't supposed to exist, and now it's all over the place. So before it vanishes again, before the lawyers bury it, before someone else is harmed, click on the next episode right now to see the footage that has the entire industry whispering. Oh, just wait till you see what's going to go viral online. This is far from over, and believe me, things will only get worse.